watching Keepin' It Green. I'm your host, Debbie Klughers, and today I have with me Adrienne Esposito from the Citizens Campaign for the Environment.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking the long ride out to beautiful East Hampton.
It was a pleasure.
Great, in the rain.
Yes.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about your organization and what you guys are doing?
Sure, I'd love to. Citizens Campaign for the Environment was just 25 years old last month. And we are a bi-state organization with 6 offices around New York and Connecticut. And we work on a large diversity of environmental issues. Everything from protecting our drinking water to protecting our beaches and our bays, land preservation, reduction of pesticides, public health issues, you name it.
All the main
environmental
problems.
After 25 years, you get a great deal of experience in doing so. So it's been quite a road, and we have accomplished many things, and we have a lot left to do as well. So we're looking forward to the next 25 years.
Now, we were talking earlier, and you're actually one of the co-founders. 25 years ago, started out in your living room.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to believe. Obviously, I was 10 when we started.
Yeah.
But it was in a small living room in Amityville.
Wow.
And there was a handful of us who just thought we wanted to start a small, at the time, we thought a small environmental group to work on drinking water protection on Long Island, since we have a sole source aquifer. And from there, it grew, and we realized you can't just work on one small thing. You have to have a presence in Albany. You have to have a presence in many of the Senate and Assembly districts.
Sure.
So it led us to where we are today. We're in Connecticut, New York, and
80,000 members strong.
Members,
How
yes.
can people join your group?
People can actually join by just going to the website, which is citizenscampaign.org, or they can just call us on the phone. That's really all it takes. And they should actually sign up for our email action alerts.
Those are great.
Oh, good. Do you get that?
Oh, absolutely. For a long time.
That's great. And we don't oversend them to people.
No, you don't.
But we do send when something very particular to that community is happening, and either you may want to go to a meeting, or you may want to participate in a rally, or maybe we just want you to make a phone call.
Or a letter to a representative.
Yes, many times a letter. Exactly right.
And you give a little tip on how to write the letter, how to format it, where to send it. It's not like we have to do all this research to
That's right.
figure
We
out
want to take the mystery out of it.
Right.
We find people do care, they want to be involved, but yet they don't know what level of government may deal with that, who to write to, what to say. We take the mystery out of it. People respond. We love it. Our members are terrific, and they care, and they want to be involved.
Sure. The great thing, too, if someone was to go to your website that really didn't know much about what you were doing or what you stood for, they can go to your website and look around, and like you were saying, you deal with the water preservation, land preservation, pesticides, chemicals, how to get involved. I mean, if anyone is interested in any aspect of the environment, or if they're not interested, they surely can find something that they're, could be interested in, because you're really with wildlife and habitat. I mean, you guys are just really all over the place.
Yeah. Well, we have a very good staff, I must say. We have staff members that have a lot of seniority in the work. Then we have new staff members with new energy and new ideas. So I like that we have a combination of expertise as well as new ways of thinking. Right. So I have to really credit our staff with so much of the great work that gets done.
That's great. And you have volunteers, I would assume, as well, that help you out.
We have some volunteers. We have internships where colleges send students over. We work them hard, but they get a lot of experience, and they get school credit.
That's great.
So there's different ways of getting the work done.
Great. So what are the most pressing issues right now that you feel is happening on Long Island today?
Well, thank you for asking. There are so many, but right now, what I would say, we're in a very, very severe battle with the state. The governor, Patterson, has proposed cutting environmental funding by 40% from last year and over 50% from the previous year.
And I'm sure that funding isn't really large to begin with.
No.
To start cutting it in half.
You're exactly right. There's something called the EPF, or the Environmental Protection Fund. It was established back in the early 90s, 1993. And that's the fund where all of the environmental programs that we have comes from. So it's preserving land. It is stopping polluted stormwater from running into our beaches and our bays, recycling money, land preservation. So that's the fund. It's one fund. As I said, it was cut by 40% in what the governor proposed this year, down from $222 million in 2009 to a proposal of $142 million this year.
And it's got to be spread out amongst...
This is for the whole state.
Wow.
So we said, no, enough's enough. Next year, they'll be looking to eliminate it.
Wow.
We understand there's a budget
This is
crisis.
our home. Without the earth and the environment, what do we, we need this.
Yeah, this is not a luxury item.
No,
this is a necessity.
Exactly.
Thank you. You should work for us.
Maybe I will.
But we understand there's a budget crisis. We get it. We know there's a recession. I run a nonprofit. It hasn't escaped our radar. But yet, we also understand that there are proportional cuts and disproportional cuts. This has been taken an axe to the environmental budget, and we're saying no. And we need our state senators and our assembly members to stand up and say no.
And how can we get them to stand up and say no?
Well, they actually have a very key and critical role to play. That's the governor's proposal. Now the Senate and the Assembly need to come up with their budget proposals.
Okay.
We're telling them restore funding into the Environmental Protection Fund, restore funding into the land preservation category. There is no reason.
Protect our water.
Yeah, protect our water. This is about protecting, particularly on Long Island, protection of drinking water, protection of beaches and bays. That's our economy. That's our health. That is our future.
Right.
So
and sometimes things are irreversible. Like if we take the money away today, and in a couple of years things go downhill, you might not be able to get it back.
That's exactly right. No, it's a very good point. Once land's developed, it's developed.
It's gone.
It's gone. Once you have too much development and there's stormwater runoff going into the beach and the bay, you're creating too much damage.
Yeah.
You're ruining fisheries. You're ruining shell fisheries. You're ruining marine habitat. We need this.
And then it'll cost even more money to try to reverse it rather than just keeping it at a nice steady state.
And it takes a long time for nature to heal itself. Even when we have the right technologies and we have the right implementation of programs, it's not an overnight process. So we're very, very hopeful that our Senate members and our Assembly members will really take a look at this and say, this is the wrong way to go. The environment is our economy. It is our health. It is who we are. We live on Long Island because we love it.
It's beautiful.
That's right.
Let's keep it.
It is beautiful. Our home values are attached to that beauty.
Right.
Our health is attached to that beauty.
Absolutely.
Let's not be so cavalier about it. Let's fight for it. And that's what we're doing right now in Albany.
Great. So people can do a little letter writing campaign and try to get these lawmakers to listen.
They should be writing to Senate and Assembly members. They can go on our website and find updated fact sheets on this. It's under Environmental Protection Fund. And it'll say what to say, put it in your own words, but it'll give you some information and tips, as you said, and who to write to, and particularly the governor.
That's great.
We're dramatically disappointed. We think he could do better. We need him to do better, and that's what we expect to happen.
And Long Islanders can fight for all of New York State. I mean, if we up the money that's available, we're going to be helping all of New York State. And,
that's right. We're in this together.
Right.
We're in the recession together. We're in the battle together. Let's fight together.
And is Connecticut doing as severe cuts as New York is proposing?
No. We, as you know, are in Connecticut too. I was just there, actually. They're proposing a mere, I think it was 5% cut to their environmental budget.
And we're...
That's right.
Wow.
So not 40%, 5%.
Yeah, which makes sense in today's economy.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's okay,
But if you do a 5% cut, it's proportional to other agencies.
Wow.
The other thing that the state has proposed, the governor, is dramatically cutting the Department of Environmental Conservation staff. Over 80 staff members cut in 1 year.
Wow.
We're saying that this is crazy.
So those that are left will be worked
That's right.
much harder or not be able to do the work.
Yes, and what we believe is they won't be able to do their job. And they play a critical, essential role in protecting waterways, protecting the water, drinking water. And we need the DEC. So we need to restore the positions in the DEC and not cut another 80 staff people.
Wow.
And we
That's
need the EPF.
statewide?
Yes, that's statewide. And when we asked, okay, where will the staff come from? They said, well, it'll be attrition. We don't know. So they don't know what departments of the DEC, they don't know what departments will have reduced staff and what...
They just want to get rid of...
Yeah.
Wow. And so that is in addition to the budget cuts.
That's right.
Cut the environmental